Today's episode, we're going to continue our Ford imported cars to the UK with the Mercury Monarch Ghia. Hello and welcome to Quartzlight, your car brochure channel, the channel that brings you car brochures from around the world for the 60s, 70s, 80s and 90s and sometimes beyond those years as well. So if you're interested in cars, car brochures, looking back at cars gone by, all about those memories, then please do consider subscribing. It will always be completely free. Anyway, in today's episode, excuse me, we do something called Ford Friday. So every Friday we look at a Ford, and we've been looking at these Ford cars kind of like imported to the UK. So this is the brochure from 1977. It shows the cars you could have bought in the UK from specialised dealers. And there's been quite a few. I'll certainly do a link to show you the other models you might have missed. The third model in this range is a little bit of an unusual one, but I'll throw it on the board for you now. So yes, this is the third model, and kind of like the model I would imagine would have sold the least, because it wouldn't have really meant a great deal to UK audiences, or UK buyers I should say. The Mercury Monarch Ghia. This would have been like classed as more of a compact size car in the US, but in this case still comes with an extremely large car, extremely large engine for UK motoring and UK high fuel prices. Now, there's a few things I find this a bit weird, because the word Mercury, a division of Ford, Mercury really wouldn't have meant anything to UK buyers, so that would have been a bit of a puzzle for them for a start. And the other models in the range, the Ford Mustang, you could almost imagine people buying that in the UK for the Mustang name. And then the beautiful, huge Australian Ford Fairmont. I can certainly imagine people buying that. That was a little bit of a special car for sure, and particularly an estate car form. A huge vehicle and something interesting. But this one, I find a little bit of a puzzle, because like I say, it is classed as a compact size for the US, although it's still going to be a huge car for the UK roads. Not the most attractive car in the world, and like I say, that Mercury name wouldn't have meant a lot. And even though this was classed as more of a compact size in the US, still came with a ridiculously large engine. So certainly an unusual one. I guess it was here presenting it as a vehicle that was a bit more upmarket, because it was the Ghia version, the top model with one of the larger engines. Anyway, let's have a look at the text and we'll work our way around the images. So here we go then, the Mercury Monarch Ghia, most prestigious of America's new European generation of luxury automobiles. The Mercury Monarch Ghia has created a style of sophisticated elegance that retains all the traditional qualities Americans demand from their luxury saloons. And yes, I've zoomed on the word European. I don't know what they mean by this, other than this was certainly a smaller American car, so is that what they're thinking? It's a bit smaller than the huge land yachts that America have been created, therefore it's European. I don't see anything European about this car themselves. It's almost like they fooled themselves in thinking this is a European car and therefore it was going to sell really well in the UK. I think they've kind of like fooled themselves into thinking that, because I can't see anything European about this car whatsoever. The text continues by telling us the Monarch's interior is fully colour keyed with real leather or soft cloth upholstery available as an option. Reclining front bucket seats with fitted headrests, soundproofing throughout, deep cut panel carpeting, tinted glass and a quartz crystal digital clock complete the sensation of luxurious, all-enveloping comfort. The flagship of the Lincoln Mercury's new range, the Monarch Ghia, offers the highest standards of American design in a car no larger than most European luxury saloons. And here it is. Little bits of, so I presume the indicators on the lower part of the bumper I presume that's just for European or UK regulations there. But a very big, boxy car. Number plate on there has obviously just been superimposed on there, so I don't believe it really does belong to the car. Interior, I actually prefer the interior to the exterior, I must admit. Nice big leather seats there. Very much 70s, where they like to colour coordinate everything, including the steering wheel. Looks like we've got a bit of wood on there as well. Like I say, certainly very much a luxury car. But it does seem to be all about the size, doesn't it? That's why they're using the word European, telling us it's no larger than most European luxury saloons. So what they're comparing it to, maybe a Jag. But I can't imagine this would steal any sales from Jaguar at the time in the UK. Because really, Mercury didn't have any sort of like luxury connotations for the UK buyer. Very imposing front end though. Leather interior, vinyl roof in brown. What better for the 70s? And some fancy hubcaps. So the Mercury Monarch Ghia specifications, standard features, European ride suspension. Not sure what they're really saying there. Solid state ignition, through flow ventilation, steel velted radial ply tyres, impact resistant bumper system, seat back mat pockets, dual tone horn, vanity mirrors, day night interior mirror, deep cut power carpet, twin remote control door mirrors, power windows, tinted glass, reclining front bucket seats, vinyl roof, heated rear window, interval windscreen wipers, digital clock, inertia reel front seat belts, deluxe sound insulation, carpeted luggage compartment, complete courtesy light system, quartz halogen headlamps. And then the extra cost, optional equipment, so you get glamour paint, powered glass moonroof, half vinyl roof I should say, for the two doors, so you can get a two-door example if you wanted, centralised door locking system, four-way power driver's seat, non-reclining, cloth trim, leather trim, cast aluminium wheels, centre console, speed control, and then in-car entertainment refer to your imported car dealer. And then technical specifications, so auto transmission with T-bar floor mounted shift, steering power assisted, recirculated ball and nut with transfer gear, safety steering column with anti-theft lock, 39-foot turning circle, brakes hydraulic dual line, vacuum servo assisted, self-adjusting front disc brakes with rear drums, suspension front independent coil spring, rear semi-elliptic leaf spring. And then the engine, there was 4 choices I believe in the US, but here for this imported model there is just one, a 4.9 litre V8 engine. And there at the bottom we do have the measurements or the dimensions, and also proof that it can be a 2-door or a 4-door car. Interested, I don't know if anyone wants to have a look what sort of sold in the UK more regularly car would be of those sorts of dimensions, but like I say, it certainly would have been a more compact car for the US roads. So yeah, overall a very strange one to officially import for the UK market. I think this sort of like obsession with being smaller, therefore it's more European, I think is where they kind of like trip themselves up. But certainly let me know if you ever saw a Mercury Monarch Ghia in the UK. And overall, that does conclude this brochure for these 3 models. I'll certainly do a link for the other models in this brochure if you missed them. But overall, obviously, if you was really interested in American or American or Australian big Ford vehicles, this was obviously the way to do it, because you got the backing from Ford, you got a good sort of amount of spares, you got a bit of a warranty, therefore it made more sense than just grey importing ones. So I can understand the attraction if you were into these large cars. For me though, my choice would certainly have been the big Aussie Ford Fairmont, and actually I would have gone from the Fairmont estate, which was actually even bigger than the standard Fairmont, but there is certainly something about those V8 Aussie Fairmont estates. I do really like them. Certainly tell me what your choice would have been, and we'll conclude this episode. But yes, that does conclude this episode for these Ford imported cars. It's 1977 is this brochure, so obviously in different years they would have chosen different cars to import. But this is actually the only brochure of this type I've ever found. If you do know of other years of these UK brochures, please let me know. They are certainly an interesting one, and interesting to find out what you could actually buy in the UK that was not sort of like the standard thing that everyone else was buying. But thank you so much for watching today. We'll end the episode as we always do by saying, please do consider subscribing. It is all completely free, and there's over 800 episodes on Quarterlight now, so plenty of viewing pleasure. I'm sure you find cars that you are interested in. We'll end with this image of a Mercury Monarch Ghia. I'll also put over this side the other episodes you may have missed in this brochure, and usually a bit of a random brochure up here, or you can just go to our Quarterlight page and flick through all the episodes that we've done. But thank you so much for watching today. Please do take care. We'll see you again very soon. All the best and goodbye.